Hello and welcome. We are at Boss Babes Week 5. Oh my goodness, I cannot believe that we have been together for 5 weeks. It's been so awesome. This series has been so fun to really just watch you girls just learn how to embrace your own ability and willingness to take a risk and slay the day. So, if you don't have this yet, we need you to have your Boss Babes notebook. Okay, I was practicing my calligraphy. Get your Boss Babes notebook out. And I'm going to start again tonight with what is a Boss Babe. So blow me up in the chat. Remember to tell us your name, whose unit you represent, where you live, and what risks you took this week that you are really proud of. So blow the chat up for me, you guys. Put all that in there. I'm so excited. Okay. So a boss babe, y'all, is a confident, ambitious woman who takes charge of her life and career with a strong sense of empowerment. Isn't that so good? I love this so much. Okay. And a risk taker, you guys, is someone who's willing to venture into uncertain situations, taking a risk positively, right? And embracing challenges and opportunities with courage and potential for significant rewards. I think that's so fun. I love that so much, you guys. Okay. If I knew I wouldn't fail, I would what? If I knew I wouldn't fail, I would what? So that is like the very first part of your notebook. You know, a lot of times, y'all, the truth is we base what we want on what we think is possible, not what we really want. True or false? True. So I want y'all to look at this right here. I reached out to several ladies that have not responded several times and actually booked virtual. Yes, keep asking. I got 2 new recruits this week. Whoop, whoop. That's exciting. All right. So I want y'all to think, like, what risk are you proud of? What are you excited about? Thank you, Carol. I appreciate that. I warm chatted strangers in Walmart. Okay. Let's talk about this, right? I love it so much. It's like, all right, what random act of kindness can I do today, right? And so, y'all, as we are really diving in, we only have 2 more weeks. I'm kind of sad. This has been so much fun to do this with you guys. But tonight, guess what? I am your featured speaker. What? And so all of the Boss Babes, we all turned our videos in, and this series actually launched the very end of December. And so we were to send these videos by December 30th or 29th to Karen Rydell. And so I recorded this back then, and I'm excited to share that with y'all. So here's what I want you to be thinking about is just take notes on my story, right? And then what was my why for taking a risk? I want you to kind of really think like, what was the reason I took a risk? Thank you, guys. I'm glad you like my big hair, my big Southern hair. It is kind of fun. I got it cut a little different this time, so I can kind of boof the curls a little bit. I just like wake up and keep making it bigger. It's kind of fun. So what was my why for taking a risk? What did I learn? What did I learn from it? And you guys, what changed in my business because of it? That right there is the key. It's so, thanks. Y'all are so sweet. Thank you. I need to hang out with y'all more. Okay. And then does her story inspire you? Y'all can decide that on your own. If it doesn't, it's fine. It's totally fine. And then what's your biggest takeaway from the story? Okay, so before we dive in, let's do some recognition, right? I can't forget the reco. We got to give a shout out to our top 10 boss babes in the house. All right, so let's find some reco so we can be so excited about these awesome leaders. Okay, you guys, let's rock and roll with some recognition. Wanda! Next up.
Ladies and gentlemen,
we got Tammy.
welcome to the main event.
Awesome. Number 8. Number 1. Here we go. And y'all, we're climbing.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Michelle, what? Carol, Nick, Holli. Let's go, Cindy. And our queen, Kim Wilson. Y'all, what? 1,100 points. What, Kim? Are you on here? Kim, if you are, I'm going to need you to blow up the chat. What? Kim? 1,100? What? That's so awesome. Congrats to all of you, by the way. Okay, those of y'all that were in the top 10 this week, I want to know, what risk did you take? You got to tell us what risk you took this week. If you're a top 10er, tell us what risk you took. What things did you do to get out of your comfort zone this week to help you really climb, right? Okay. All right, you guys. So obviously, if you are on Instagram, follow me at NSD Holli Lowe. Make sure you spell my name right so that you can see all of the reco that I post for this event. I do that through Instagram. It does share to Facebook, but I can only have so many friends on Facebook, so that's a little weird sometimes. So my question is, do I take notes on my own class? Is that weird? Maybe it is weird. I don't know. I took notes on RE last week. So I want y'all to think back. I want y'all to think of the access that you have had to the minds of these amazing and brilliant national sales directors. So week 1, y'all, we got to hear from Kim McClure and Karen Rydell and their men. Wasn't that really cool? And it is there for you. God is depending on us to explode our businesses. That was my major takeaway. And then y'all, week 2 was so exciting. And so whose class that y'all have heard from has been really powerful? We heard from Katrina. You guys have heard from Heidi. You heard from Ari. And then we have 2 more speakers. Y'all get to hear from Lene Tate. And you get to hear from my girl, Laura McKeever, who I spent New Year's Eve in Atlanta with. We had so much fun. She and I have ridden the Eye in London, that big old ginormous Ferris wheel. We rode that in London together, so that was really fun. But y'all get to be in the space of my girlfriends. And I always think when they say you become like the people you're around the most, you're 5 people whose voices are you listening to. So I love this so much, y'all. Thank you so much, Carol. Thank you for sharing how you got out of your comfort zone, a top 10er. Wanda, check this out. You guys text my friends to do share calls. All right. It's been amazing. Yes, Jessica, totally agree. Working that party full circle. Carla, good job. Who else did we have? I read Wanda, Brittany. I chatted with those ladies in Walmart. One called by the time I got home. That's awesome. Awesome. So I'm really proud of you guys for doing those things that really are a risk. They really are a risk. And tonight you are going to learn what, hold please. I'm not sure what that's all about. That was weird. Okay. Anyway, all right. I'm trying to manage the chat and this. So maybe next time I can have somebody help me manage the chat. All right. So I'm going to give you an acronym. Or an acronym is like a word that you spell down your paper and then you put words with it, what risk really means. And so I hope y'all enjoy that tonight. All right. With no further ado, your National Sales Director, hello. The big risk. We all take risks every single day in our life, but taking a risk and seeing it through is really more like believing in what you can't see. And even when there's no evidence that points that it will ever work out in any way, shape, or form, right? So I want y'all to think about the word risk, R-I-S-K, right? Risk stands for rise up, girl. Impact will be had. See it through and kicked out to the curb the minute it creeps into your journey. I remember the moment of walking into my first career conference. I had been in Mary Kay for a year and had never, ever held an appointment.
Suit Your Fancy
Oh my
is
God.
our level 2 shaping,
time.
which we
Oh,
consider
look,
a
Nick.
firm hug, whether it's a
Well,
plunging.
Never done a party, didn't order inventory or do a debut. I was a real winner, right? But a year after signing up, I called my director and told her I really wanted to see what this Mary Kay thing was about. And she told me, come to Career Conference. How many of you have ever attended Career Conference? I just finished competing in the Miss South Carolina pageant and had bought a pink suit for my state interview. I thought Mary Kay, pink, it would be perfect. In this season of my life, I was a junior in college and was so on the perfection train. Can any of you relate? Trying to create the perfect middle-class American life with my 2.2 children, the starter home that would be my forever home, a teaching career that I would do forever. Y'all remember those teachers in your life? I'd have more month than money, but we would have enough to pay our bills, and that would be enough, right? The white picket fence. Anyone had that small town, middle class American dream? The white picket fence. You remember your normal you were striving to achieve before Mary Kay entered the scene? So when I walked in to that career conference in my beautiful pink suit, I knew no one. They all had on black, white, red jackets, of course, and slate gray director suits. And I was wearing the magenta pink suit, right? I was the highlighter in the Sharpie box, and I was mortified. I could have totally found a red blazer at the Belk's department store if she had just told me to go buy a red blazer. When I sat at that conference, my middle-class American dreams were shattered beyond all recognition. I saw women marching on stage for earning cars and trips. I heard the travel, the income of the NSDs, and I remember seeing those successful top 10 directors in sales and sharing, and I think my mouth was hanging open. Where has this been my whole life? And how did I almost miss it? I wanted that suit. I wanted that income, that sisterhood. I wanted that life. I wanted to be happy. I wanted to be celebrated. I wanted applause. I wanted to love on women. I wanted that mic in my hand. My brain felt like it was exploding. But really, I just wanted two things. When I boiled it all down, it all. As I sat there in that arena, the borders of my normal had just been expanded. I never imagined taking my family on trips around the world. I had never imagined earning diamond rings and millions and making millions for my family. And as my 20-year-old mind was trying to rapidly process what was happening, I felt so much excitement, so much enthusiasm, but I had so many questions. Anyone? What would my parents and boyfriend think if I really did this instead of being a school teacher? But I also say that I was too dumb to doubt, because if it worked for them, I think I could figure it out. So what was I really risking? My childhood dream of becoming a school teacher. I was risking all the money I had used in scholarships to get a teaching degree. I was risking the approval of all of the people around me because they were going to think I was crazy. I was risking looking stupid. I mean, I don't have one customer, one profile card. I never held one party, and now I'm going to earn a car and be a director by seminar, and it's March 20th? That's kind of ridiculous. Oh my gosh. Dads. I don't ever know. I was risking making the wrong decision that would alter my entire future. So in taking this risk, you guys, I had to trust three things. First of all, I had to trust Mary Kay. I had to trust God, and I had to trust myself. I trusted Mary Kay. That was easy. This business was proven, and it worked. I parked by a pink Cadillac when I pulled up to Charlotte. They all seemed happy and said it was great. And honestly, I never considered anything other than what I saw at face value. I believed them. Next, I had to trust God. That if I did the work, he would bless the chase. And if he did it for them, he could do it for me too. But I didn't really process that until later I understood what I was really thinking was I really had to trust not just that God could, but that he would do it for me. And last, I had to trust me. I had to trust myself to make the calls, do the faces, and do the shares. So I rolled up my sleeves and I focused on 30 faces and I shared with all of them. I left career conference in April. I left career conference that March, and in April, my team did 8,000 wholesale. I recruited 6 girls and my commission check was over $800. I was sold. My life was changed and I knew that Mary Kay was for me. In May, I added another 4 girls and we finished with 10 and I submitted DIQ on June 1st. I didn't finish my seminar, but I did earn my first free car on June 30th. I debuted as a new sales director on October 1st. Here's what I learned. I learned that I didn't need to know it all to get started. I learned that you assume people think you're crazy, but really most of them think you're crazy amazing. They think you're so brave and super courageous for breaking out of the mold. I learned to love the process of being a beauty consultant. I loved to party. I learned that 30 faces changes everything. I learned in those days that action increases your confidence. Confidence raises your belief, and high belief makes you brave enough to believe anything is possible. I learned how to balance 19 to 21 hours a semester, working part-time on campus, working part-time at a restaurant, babysitting all summer, and also running a Mary Kay business. I learned that I wasn't an overthinker. I always just did what my mentors told me to do. I really didn't have to figure anything out. They had it all figured out. And if they were successful and I did what they did, it would work for me too. I learned how to work afraid. Warm chatter was the most terrifying thing I had ever done up to this 20 years of my life. I understood what real courage was. I learned how to dream, and I mean really dream, and then do something about it. I learned that the expectation of others did not have to be my reality. I learned that you can't outrun your roots. I learned that I had to do the work. No one else could do it for me. Excuse me. No one else could do it for me. No one would hand me what I had not worked for. And I had everything I needed to tackle the goal. What happened because I took the risk? Because I took the risk to attend career conference when I knew no one. I had never met my director. My middle-class American dreams were smashed. And God gifted me with the biggest high-def dreams for the first time in my life. I took the risk of going for car and director. In doing that, it was the single best decision to set my life into a totally new trajectory. God would use this company to pull the warrior princess out of me that was buried deep inside. I took the risk. I hustled hard. And crossing the line took more than I thought it would. But the victory was sweeter than I could have ever imagined. Your God-given dream life destiny is on the other side of all the risks you're willing to take. The same God who made the sun, the moon, and the stars decided the world needed one of you today. He chose you. He selected you. He called you. Now, why don't you go prove him right? All right. So, what did you learn? I can't wait to hear what y'all learned from my world, from my journey, from my, from those moments where I was scared to death. I still laugh when I think about those early days of warm chatter and how literally so flippin' paralyzing that it was. So y'all, if y'all ever want to go back and catch weeks 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 on this, you can go to our Lowe National Area boards and you can click on the recordings, and they're posted there for consultants. And you can go back and check out any of the videos that really speak to you. Y'all, I really recommend that you find a few voices, find a few words, find a few teachers or trainers or speakers that really breathe life into you. And I challenge you to listen to that training over and over and over and over and over again. So find you on boards. If you have the paid version of boards, you can like make your own little thing. But in the notes section of my phone is another place I keep stuff. So it's like, what are my go-to motivators? Like, I have a section in my phone that says when I get dumb, like when I get dumb, this is what I need to do, right? Have you exercised? Are you drinking water? Are you eating crap? Have you read your book? Are you doing your quiet time? And these are your things you need to go listen to, right? And so just listening and feeding, y'all, it takes 7 positive thoughts to cancel a negative thought. So when we're watching and we get those hits of dopamine on social and we, I love being in prayer groups and I love, when people update me about people that I'm praying for and stuff. But y'all, if you're in, all of these groups where that's all you're bombarded with, it's a lot. So like find your circle, find your people that y'all can pray for you and yours. Like, you're my girl. I'm going to pray for you and yours. But y'all, we got to wake up and be protective of everything that we let into us. And just remember that just because it's good doesn't mean it's great. And so a lot of times, y'all, we'll trade that great just for what's good. So find places where you can cut that distraction. That's right, Jessica, where you can cut that distraction and you can really hone in by listening and fueling and constantly parading positive thoughts into your mind, because it really, really matters. All right, so I'm hopping off. Peace out. I hope y'all have an awesome week, y'all. I hope y'all follow me on Instagram so you can see all of the awesome beach retreat pictures that we are going to be posting for you guys. We are headed out in the morning. Jessica's coming to ride with me. And then we got 8 to 9 hours down to Dustin. I'm so excited. I almost cried today when I was looking at the pictures of the house. Y'all, this is like a $10 million mansion at the beach. Like, what? It's so awesome. I can't wait. All right, y'all. I can't wait to see y'all next week on Wednesday. Happy Hump Day. Love y'all. Thank you for being on and tuning in tonight. Bye, you guys. Have a great night. Don't forget, if you're in the Lowe National area or Tate National area, we'll see you on Zoom for our Powerfully Pink huddle. And if you are tuning in on YouTube, your director has the link. Bye, y'all. Have an awesome night.